Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. In this video we are going to be going over Christa, who is an S-Class character that is available in the Road to S-Class event. I know a lot of you have claimed her already and other people are still on the fence whether to claim James or Christa. I have done a video on James already and I'm basically going to be doing the same video on Christa where we're going to be looking at possible mod sets to use for her, the kind of mods you want to use as well as the weapons, the sort of teams that she can fit into, and a little bit of gameplay as well. Now I've done a first look video at Christa and James already, so that you can see that in the top right hand corner right now. So I'm not going to go over her dossier too much, but we're going to mainly look at her specialist skill because this is what you want to get the most out of her. She is a specialist, she is a damage dealer, and I'll read through the specialist skill first. When this specialist kills an enemy with an attack or adrenaline rush, any excess damage is dealt to one adjacent target. This means that, let's say there's 2 targets left and she rushes one target, kills that target, and it had 4,000 HP. If she did 8,000 damage, 4,000 damage would be done to the adjacent target. Now this is enhanced if you do damage against trait characters. So obviously if you do damage against a strong character, because she's alert, that excess damage is going to be generally quite a lot higher. Now when we go across to the combat mods, that's basically what I've planned to do. I've tried to do as much damage to strong characters as possible. So when I do my rushes, I rush a strong character and she's almost guaranteed at that point to kill 2 characters. Right now, she's guaranteed to kill 2 characters regardless. Because of coming up against 6 stars a lot of the time, she's going to do so much damage. That's why I've gone for a crit mod and crit multiplier, just so her basic attacks do so much damage as well. I'm hitting for like 3k on a basic attack. Later on, things will change of course, and you'll probably find a setup like this will work better against S-Class characters when S-Class characters are everywhere. However, for the time being, I'm going to be using my original mod setup. So of course we've gone for an attack mod. Even if it's only 650, which won't mean too much because her attack stat is really high, you want to get as much attack stat as possible. With the attack versus, I would say doubling down isn't a bad idea, or you want to go up against alert, which generally speaking are quite hard to take down. Mainly because there aren't too many good tough characters available at the moment, but also because there are a lot of good alert characters out there. If you can one-shot Zachary's on defense teams, everything's a little bit smoother. Now I've gone with taunt resist generally because I do run with shields on attack for the time being. I think once S-Class characters are out, it will sort of balance itself a little bit. But in the 6-star era, especially the lack of balance between free-to-play characters and promo characters, you kind of have to run a shield to protect your damage dealers. Even though Christa has got pretty high defensive stats compared to 6-star characters, she's going to be quite flimsy as an S-Class character. She's got less than 2k defense and she's got the lowest defense of all the S-Class characters currently. Now as I showed before, the extra 2 mods, you can change these up later on, but I'd say this is the best way to go just so her basic attacks do hit nice and hard. I have killed 2 people with her basic attacks when I've attacked a strong character, because obviously I'm getting trait damage, I'm getting a higher multiplier based on doing extra damage against strong characters from my mods. And if I hit a crit, it's just immense. I can hit for like 4k, and if there's 2 low HP characters next to each other, they're gone. Now when it comes to her weapon, I would say it doesn't really matter too much what the 3rd slot is. You can go for stun on defense, you could go for anything you want. Splash damage works quite well at the moment because obviously 6 stars are fairly weak HP wise compared to what S-Class characters are going to be. So if you have a splash damage weapon, that can be a lot of fun with basic attacks for the time being, but later on that's not going to be as useful. But what you definitely need is attack multiplier. That percentage attack multiplier is the most important thing. Gaining AP as well is very important, just so that you can get her rush nice and quick. And because she's a 66 AP character, she actually only needs a medium bonus to AP when attacking, and there could be some weapons out there that you can craft that already have 30% attack and a medium bonus to AP when attacking, and you could get that attack stat up to 40% quite easily. So in terms of the team I'm building for her, it's pretty much the same team I've used for a while, just my Michelle team, and she instantly replaced my Sandy. Now I love Sandy, I think she's great, but her time is going to be short based on the fact that she is Generation 1. S-Class characters are coming out. While she does hit really hard, she's not going to be able to hit hard enough to take down S-Class characters consistently. The best thing about Sandy was the fact that she could kill 2 characters with her rush, but the way I have Sandy built, she can take out 1, but she's so flimsy. Compared to Christa, there's just no competition there. So it's an instant easy upgrade for me right now, and straight away Christa was in a better position because of this than my James was, because obviously Christa can instantly get a weapon in her hands. She's instantly got the sort of damage stat that she needs. Christa is very basic. She's very simple in terms of what you need to build. You just need to build attack stat. You need to get that attack stat as high as possible. Now, not much is going to change throughout the transition from tier 1 to tier 4 for Christa. You're still going to rely heavily on just having high attack stat. Whereas, like I said in my James video, his build could change throughout his tiering up process and as more S-class characters come out. Whereas Christa won't. She'll just constantly be that damage dealer. So as for the gameplay, obviously Christa hits immensely hard. Basic attacks, rushes, anything. And that waste knot is so nice. It is so important. You know, you can take out 2 characters quite quickly. Compared to Collateral, you can control it a bit better as well. So you won't be hitting things like Bide as easily. You won't be hitting Payback as easily. Because it hits the adjacent target, as long as you rush someone in a corner, you can guarantee the 2 adjacent characters that it would hit. Now, if there are multiple Paybacks on a defense team, that's where there's an issue. But her basic attacks right now are so strong that she can take out Payback characters just with basic attacks pretty quickly. I think when teamed up with a Disarm, even better, because obviously one of the Payback characters is going to be Wayland, and he has the 750 burn when being attacked. So if you can disarm that, he can almost be one-shot by Christa just because of the mod setup and the fact that she does trait damage. Now, if you do run her with Michelle or another character that gives 35% AP on their active, she can get a turn 2 rush only if she has one 8% weapon on that team as well. And getting that rush off nice and early can be good, and it doesn't count as a command, so she can basic attack the next turn. It just means she's getting her rush off early. The amount of damage output she has as well is just so immense that it can be worthwhile doing. So all in all, Christa's most likely going to be one of the most powerful characters in your attack team right now, and you want to basically make the rest of your attack team revolve around her. Make her as powerful as possible. That includes support characters, that includes the leader. You want to be getting, obviously, the 40% attack stat. You can do that with Michelle, you can do that with Andrea. There are a couple of characters that can do that quite widely available. There are, of course, promo characters out there as well. If you do have Priya, that's an extra 50% attack, which is even better. And you obviously want to protect her quite a bit with maybe a shield or maybe Guardian shields. You want to keep her alive as long as possible. The fact that she's 66 AR means that she can obviously get that rush off nice and quick. A command can be obviously very, very useful to be able to get that rush off quick. But if you have AP gain characters on their actives, I think Regina has one, Michelle has one, quite available characters. You can get that nice and quick rush. But for the moment, just be careful of Bide and Payback. She can one-shot Bide characters, and obviously if you kill a Bide character outright, the Bide does not actually happen. And she has pretty high HP, so if you have someone who gives bonus HP or a Guardian shield, that Bide does nothing, of course. She's a really heavy-hitting single target damage dealer, which is something that I've always said is one of the best things that you can get your hands on. And I do hope that she's going to have some longevity in the game and that she's not going to be outclassed too quickly. Now, as a maxed out character, Christa has really, really high attack still. Obviously, 5.8k. That's higher than Priya by, I think, 300 or 400. So she can get that attack stat pretty high. This is with veteran rings, of course. And I would say if you are, holding on to those veteran rings, this would not be a bad place to spend them. An S-class character has the best longevity compared to any other character in the game. And a damage dealing S-class character is much better than a damage dealing 6-star character. If you're going to use veteran rings on 6 stars, I would say try and keep it to support characters. Generally characters that you see lasting as long as possible. If you saw that team that I was using before, I was using a 5-star on that team and it was Kate. Because all of the damage dealing 5 stars got outclassed instantly the second the 6 stars came out. And that's going to be exactly the same situation you're going to face with S-class. All those damage dealing 6 stars are going to be absolutely irrelevant. So I'm happy I picked up a character in both regions. I'm also doubly happy that obviously that Christa is a Telltale character. I'm a massive Telltale fan, so having another Telltale character that I can pick up, especially just for free to play, is fantastic for me. And I would definitely not complain about getting some more in the future. And I do hope there are going to be some more. Characters like AJ and Lily, for instance, from Season 4, and a bunch of characters from Season 2 that we're missing. I do hope that one day they're going to revisit that. Now, do tell me what combat mods you plan to use, what weapon upgrades you plan to go for. Is there something that I've missed? Obviously, I do like to look into my characters a lot, but there's always some other ideas as well, so do share them with me. Do tell me if you claimed Christa, did you claim James? Are you still on the fence? Which way are you going to sway? Because you should claim these characters soon just so you can get the most out of them quickly. Just so you can get the most out of them. You are going to be able to tier them up very soon and they're going to be tier 2, tier 3 before you know it. But hopefully this video has helped you in some way in terms of building your character to be a damage dealing character. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.